I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house for another day of crypto and PulseChain paradise. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're going to be talking about the big vision that seems to be unfolding onto PulseChain right now. And so this is probably getting pretty exciting in the whole ecosystem and at the bottom of this big correction as well. And it looks like we're having a little bit of a green day entering to next week. So that's good news. And we've got other good news to talk about as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to share the show out on X. It really does help a lot. And don't forget to subscribe on the way in and hit the follow button on X. So there we go. All right, so let's get into the show straight away. Let me just post out the socials here on Telegram. And let me just put that out for the moment and live. All right, so if you haven't joined our socials, don't forget to check out the video description for the socials. Join up today. If you haven't joined Strategy Club, that's fantastic. So join up today, $35 a month, so just over $1 a day. And of course, get lots of intel in there. And also on X, if you're X, just go scroll to the top and join up today through the Whoop store, as they say, the Whoop store. That's the place to be. All right, and we'll see you inside Telegram. I mean, Discord, I should say. Discord. All right, so let's go. And let me just jump out of here, and we're going to kick off the show with the good old crypto roundup. So let's see where we are at the moment on the way in. And so we got at the moment 3.065 trillion. Good news. So we're back over $3 trillion. Up 3%. So is the bottom in from the correction that we've had since pretty much the 10th of October through to I guess yesterday. So that's where we are right now. So that's good news. Bitcoin at the moment $87,800, up 4.2%. So that's good news. Ethereum there at up 3.2%, $2,830. That's a pretty good range at 28 to 2,900. And of course we've got XRP is up 7.3% at $2.07. BNB up 2.9% at $850. We've got Solana at number 6 up 5%, and that is $132. We got Tron at number 8 up 0.5% at 27.5 cents. And then we got Doge at number 10. Wrap up our top 10 is up 5.1% at 14.7 cents. Pretty good. Even Cardano at number 11 is managing to edge up a 3.5% gain, 41.5 cents. And of course, Charles Hodgkinson been in a bit of the limelight last couple of days. All right, so looking at the best performer, well, that is XRP up 7.3% over the last 24 hours. Best performer over the last week, obviously after the carnage. What do we got there? Best performer. What we got? It's probably Tron. Solana's only down 3.1%, so I guess it's Solana that takes the victory there. All right, moving to top 100 over last week. We did manage, even with the pullback, a couple of coins did manage to make edge out gains. We got Bitcoin Cash up 15%. We got White Bitcoin up 10%. There we got Pi Network up 8.4%, and we've got World Liberty up 6.2%, and finally Leo there up 3.3% to wrap up our top 5 in the top 100. Top 1,000 we got Tensor, ALF, Bob, the Bitcoin built on Bitcoin, and they're all up green today in the top 1,000. And trending is Fyro, Pudgy Penguins. Of course, Tom Lee loves that one, and Bitcoin. Those are trending right now. So a nice little start to the week. Now, obviously, it's still Sunday in the US, so the market's opening up tomorrow. So this bodes well, though. Normally Sunday is a flat or down day, and we've got a green day. So that's probably good news. Good news, guys. We've got Sean O'Malley in the house there. Good morning, team. Good morning, Sean. Green is good. It is indeed. It's looking good to me. We've got, I think we've got, is that the Tetra sign? Is that the Tetra sign? Hey, everybody. Let's hope we push forward. Is that the Tetra sign? I think that is the profile, is it? I'm not sure. But, let us know. All right, so let's move on to the Bitcoin charts and see where we're going from there. So Sunday green, ice cream. We got Bitcoin on the chart here on the daily. What the hell is that? It popped up there. We got $87,676 on Coinbase, but you can see we had just a brutal sell-off here, and now we have bounced today, which is pretty nice. Work for crypto says kind of a derivative. Okay, cool. Let's see here. So we got let's go. We got 107. We came all the way down. We're going all the way down. What does it look? Got the percentages not right there. 25%. Woo! 25% from that local high before the death cross, and the death cross plays out, and we got all the way down to 80,700. So we're back up $7,000 basically. $7,000. The volatility in crypto is a feature there, and we're up 8.8% on the back of that. So there we go. 8.8% in the last 2 days. So bring it on. We've got the death cross. Are we going to have is the death cross going to be short lived? Are we going to sort of some sort of V recovery into the end of the year? We shall see. Now we did have the government shutdown, so that was probably going to dampen down GDP growth in the fourth quarter. I've seen some of the finance ministers, what I guess of course secretaries, talk about that might be half the GDP. So we'll see what that comes in for Q4. And of course, and we also got the interest rate cuts expected in December as well. Now, we've had good news that the shutdown was over. The government shutdown was over, so it was good news. Data has started to flow. We also had good news on the video, very good news on the video with the AI story. And so that leaves us the interest rate cut for the end of the year, and in December the 10th, and also the tariff emergency powers through the Supreme Court, which should go in Trump's favor. It would be quite a disaster if not, but we'll see how that goes. Now, they do have other things that they can probably do, but that is a big one to try and get around. So that is where we are right now, playing out. So nice good green day. We'll take that. Was that the correction that Raoul Paul was talking about? Let's have a look from the top. Let's go here, and let's see where we are. We were down pretty much, 36%. I mean, it's pretty much in the ballpark, right? And then we're down 30% right now. So then the next rally should be hyper huge, right? Now we are expecting very good, very good results for the U.S. economy in 2026-27. We're expecting the golden age of America to play out. A lot of that has been the foundation laid this year. Now, obviously, there's been a few little setbacks trying to do that because a lot of powers that are moving against Trump, the globalists, the Marxists. So he's got to fight all them in courts and all the rest of it. There's lots of things to happen there. None of them really want America to prosper. They're all about destroying America and just clipping the ticket while they do it. Right? That's called the champagne socialists or the champagne globalists. Right? That's what they're like. So it's something that we're going to look forward to, and so it's going to be pretty exciting to see this all play out. The other thing, of course, is with the AI boom, one reasonably expected that we would see a lot of job losses. Right, that's the fear, and therefore that could actually be a counter tanking move. But of course, what we're seeing at the moment is we're actually seeing good job growth to the upside. So really surprising there, and so it's something we're going to keep a look out. The other thing, of course, with a lot of manufacturing plants being done through the tax 100% expensing. We're seeing a lot of those factories being built. Then a lot of them will be ended up being finished, completed into early 26, and we'll see a lot of those move from construction jobs from those particular sites into factory jobs, and some of them might be more high tech, more specialized jobs as well. But we're seeing such a large boom, and of course Trump, they're looking like by the end of the year we'll have about $21 trillion of investment. So those are some of the economic backdrops looking very, very good. Now, economic growth, of course, under Trump is based on supply side economics, not like the Dems, which is typically demand driven, and so therefore it's sustainable and large, right? So pretty excited about where that will head, and also talk of the $2,000 tariff checks coming out next year as well. Now they might have criteria for those. but that's still looking pretty promising also. And we know what the COVID one looked like was pretty bullish as well. So, and also, we're seeing some moving to quantitative easing around the monetary supply as well. The other thing, of course, the manufacturing index is still below 50. And so, that means that we've got a long way to run in the cycle here. So everything's kind of lining up for that long-term play. Short-term, of course, we had the deleveraging event, and apparently one of the stable coins on USDE on Binance depegged. Now, that's a very suspicious activity, and that was back on the 10th of October. And approximately, and that's what ended up tanking the money, taking out market makers, wrecking their balance sheets, and it's taken us 6 to 8 weeks to recover. And that's some of the insights that we got from Tom Lee. So the other thing, of course, is Tom Lee was with the Bitmine emissions, pretty much been out of the funds there for 4 billion out of the money. But of course, we're all expecting Ethereum to recover and move it to the upside. And of course, he's looking to buy even more Ethereum for Bitmine emission as he heads towards that 5%. That's 6 million coins, and he's currently got 3.5 million or 3.6 million. So that brings us to Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment coming up to that death cross, and it seems like it might just cross and then be very slow, and then just be a fake out and move to the upside if all goes well this week. And of course, we've come down quite a bit there as well. The recall local high, or the all-time high here back here in 24th of August. That went down all the way down to 46%, 47% retrace there. So even 10 percentage points more severe than Bitcoin. It is currently down 42.6% already at the moment. And we've got the death cross coming up, which doesn't bode well, does it? Doesn't bode well. But I think we're going to have this as a bit of a fake out, and the Ethereum story will continue to roll on. So that's kind of the play there. So we're up about 7.7% off the bottom there. So Ethereum there looking very friendly for the takeoff. Now, this is the way I see Ethereum. I think Ethereum as being, much harder to move up, but I think once it goes, it's going to be very severe to the upside. I think it's that long pent up accumulation is going to end up playing out very, very nicely, especially with all the strategic ETH reserves there continuing to try and position themselves to get the money to do it. At the moment, the only one we've seen consistently do it, of course, is Bitmine Immersion. And we can see that here on the recent activities with the Bitmine Immersion consistently giving updates about their accumulation. 82,000 back here on the 31st of October, 7th there, 110,000 ETH, 15th there, 54,000 ETH. And over that time, from the 1st of July, since we've seen these accumulation vehicles through to now, we've seen about 4.4 to 4.6 million Ethereum leave the exchanges. So, it's getting scarcer. It's getting scarcer, and that's going to help with the parabolic move that we're expecting to come up very soon. All right, so that is strategic there on ETH, and we'll keep a lookout for that death cross. Still a little bit of a gap at the moment, about $20. $20, so not a lot in that. We're certainly going to need some strong green candles to fake that out. So we'll see. All right, in terms of the performance so far in November, we compared to last year or the last 2 years, we had very green periods around here, so it was reasonable to expect that might continue, although not 100% certain because, we've seen red months before in the past. So we ended up, at the moment, we're down 20.3% on Bitcoin. We were down about 24%. So now we've come up a little bit there, down 20% at the moment. And we've still got, a week to go, about just under a week maybe to go for the November results. So let's see if we can get a bit of a pickup there. And that's Bitcoin. Let's look at to Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment is down 26%, so that would have been much before. It's probably around 30% before, so it's at 26% now. Last year, compare that, look at 47% increase last year, but negative 26 so far with about a week to go. So we'll see whether December and the new year have something to look forward to in terms of monthly returns. All right, so that's pretty much the crypto coverage at the moment. So, green day, and we'll take that. We'll take the green day. All right, let's bring it into PulseChain results for day 926 as we're heading towards 1,000 days. Can you believe 1,000 days? Are we going to have a party? It's going to be some sort of party. I guess there'll be lots of X Spaces and YouTube shows and things, I'm sure. So we'll keep a lookout for that. X shows, YouTube shows. I don't know, a bit of controversy around Elon Musk and doxing people's locations. I know you guys seen that. I don't think it's generally, I mean, it's good for some reasons, like political things and, scam countries. There's a lot of scam countries out there. You guys know who they are. I won't name them because I don't want to be, don't want to be truthful about something. But we got that going on. So that's caused a bit of a drama. I'm not sure where Elon's a little bit flaky on some of the stuff. He moves around a lot, like his general direction for freedom and everything's good, but he is quite flaky on stuff and he moves around. It can be a bit annoying at times. I don't know whether he's on something, if you know what I mean. But it is what it is. So that is one day he feels one way, next day he feels another. We got day 926, so let's get into that. We got day 926. We've got Pulse at the moment. Quadruple 0196 is up 8.15%. Are we like that? I think we do. I mean, we like that. That's pretty cool. It's magical, guys. So we're up decent. Now we want to get into the time where we start getting into altcoin season, where we get like 20-30% a day, and it goes up for a week. That's kind of thing. Now, the Achilles heel of PulseChain has been the sacrifice set and the way that was done, right? Over capitalized, basically, and then a lot of people after their money, right? So that's kind of the play. After this many days, 926 days, plus all the days since the sacrifices, maybe 3.5 years or whatever it's been, it's have we got people that have they shaken out a little bit there? Have we got people that are willing to play for a long time, or are they just waiting for that moment to seize their capital back? And we're going to find out. But we have certainly shaken out quite a few people. People a bit more climatized now. Are they like, actually, I've already, been under the water for so long, and I'm just going to be more committed to the chain. Maybe I'm just going to sit there and, sit in some fixed interest thing and earn money while the capital price goes up. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. We've obviously had validators and people like that. We've had some reinvest, some, to take out the weekly profits and that sort of thing. So we can kind of see the Pulse chart there with the, the higher lows, etc. We are free from the SEC now, and so we've got some opportunity to move higher. And today's show is very important because we're going to be talking about maybe one of the big value themes that's on PulseChain that's basically going to bring it all together. That PulseChain's vision that Richard Hart had will come together, and we're about to see that happen in the next few days and weeks ahead. It's going to be pretty fun. PulseChain privacy boom ahead, delivering the vision for greatness, and that's kind of like the whole vision there. We're going to talk about that, break that down a little bit with some of the commentaries that have been out there from some of the people in the community, which I think good things to talk about. So Pulse right now, quadruple 0128, up 10.4%. We've got the buy and burn at 8.16%. Now that would be only creeping up lately because we've been very low volume, haven't we? And we saw 6.8 million volume or something yesterday. I think it was I think it was yesterday. And then we've had like $12 million during the weekdays, so not great volumes. We're going to check that out in a minute. Incentive token at the moment is 75 cents, up 4%. We've got Hex at the moment, 0.4 of a penny, up 9.5%. So best performer today, PulseX. We've got Hex at 0.4 of a penny, up 9.5%, and eHex at 1300th of a penny. That's at a decent little move from 1/10 of a penny. Combined price of EX and PX is powered back. We used to we're sitting at 4900th of a penny, and now we're at 5400th of a penny. So it's a nice little move there. Still baby steps, but it's green. It's green. All right, let's go to the gas prices. Have a look at that. So we got 214,000 beats, 1 cent for a PulseX swap. That is the cheapest we have seen it, right, for an extremely long time. Validators, 52,169. That's gone up a couple hundred validators. It was at maybe almost 200 validators from the looks of it. And the bridge at the moment, the bridge is sitting at 83.1. So I think we were at 80.8 yesterday or something like that. So it looks like we're up about $2.3 million on the bridge. So that's good. We'll take that. We'll take that, SS. We're going to have a look at PulseChain stats bridge numbers. Now, you guys know that these normally get updated about an hour after I finish the live stream, but we're going to have a look and see what these stats look like. Bridge stats. Let's go to the daily, and we'll see what the snapshot was for yesterday. So yeah, the day before was down $250,000. I think it was the day before. It looks like yesterday's one was 85 million. And like I say, I think we're not too far away. UTC time, 24 hours. So I'm not too far away from the next time stamp, which will be, I don't know, is it about an hour and a half, something like that. So we'll get another update there. So yeah, I won't be covering that right now, but that is where we were yesterday, 85. All right, so on that, that is the bridges. Let's go to the volume. Another low day. Yesterday was 6.4 or 8 million or something. Today we're at 6.1 million. OMG, it's just ridiculous. It is. Let's be frank. I mean, it's kind of it is super low. But hey, look, we've got some green candles happening. We have some action, and we're going to be talking about that today. So yeah, 320,000 transactions at the moment. I want to quickly look at if we're only on 6 million volume, where the heck is... I see that... let's go have a look at 9mm. So 9mm right now is at $623,000. PulseX is 5.4 million. We got the Uniswap volume of 23. 9 inches basically disappeared with SolidX support. Basically, SolidX liquidity all gone. And so, yeah, we were basically 22K on there. So, it's pretty much dig burger there. But let's have a look at PulseX and 9mm, which are holding up the DEXs. Now, obviously, we have the two balancer forks out there as well. The famous one, the GMX fork, and the Coast one, which I was remembering the name all the time, but then I've forgotten now. Coast, and let me know in the chat there if you guys remember. I've forgotten that. So we've got those out there too. And then we've got all the little farms, all the farms out there. And the biggest of those, I believe, is Emmett Farm. Emmett Farm doing a great job with their tokenomics. So big shout out to Kairos and the team. I was looking at some of the farms and I was comparing the TVL and PHUX. You're quite right. Thank you for that. PHUX and Tide. Yeah. I said Famous, didn't I? Yeah, Famous is the GMX fork, but PHUX is the balancer fork. That's right. And Tide, that's the one. This is Neil's for T-shares, says work for crypto, by the way. That's good. Well, I said to you about the picture there. Yeah, I said that. Yeah. By the way, thanks very much. Yeah. Sometimes I remember all the names, and other times I forget them. You guys, if you watch me long enough, you know that. Sometimes I have a day where they all just come off the top of the head, and then other days it's like, oh, what's that, Tim? And I probably said it the day before, which is funny. Anyway, moving on. We got Whale Bay. It's been around for 9 months. Pump tires from the looks of it, and Whale Bay's at 107%. So a big pump there. Look at that. The market maker came in and 31K volume there on 63K liquidity, 164 market cap. I don't know, who's running this or whatever, but it is here. Located on the south coast of Exco Whale Bay. Whale is the main token ecosystem. Club by its club holders hold and 5555. I know we've got people out there that launch coins all the time. Goo God and many others out there that are operating. I'm not sure who's operating this one though. We've got Pulse Guy, obviously tied into the old Peacock there, and Pulse Guy up 50%. So that's up pretty nice. So that's a nice little bounce there. Bounce from 000-1200, and it's up at 000-2600. So really good move there. I think we commentated on this yesterday. One of the sort of the Peacock ecosystem tokens. We got SCADA from Nuke the Supply up 40%. That's pretty good too. Number 3. Coming off the bottom as well, so that went down to 700th of a penny, now at 3300th penny. So really nice action there from SCADA and Nuke the Supply. Those two, that dev doing a great job. I think there's a website, right? Let me have a look at the website. It's got green too, just like Nuke Supply. I love this. I love this look. It's very War Games from the 1980s. What year was that movie? About 1980, 1984, something like that. War Games? Let me know in the chat if you guys remember 1984. War Games was such a cool movie, honestly. And so we got supply control and distribution application, and that's all ticking away there. So they've got all the stats in there as well. They're still loading for some reason. I don't know why, but isn't that cool? Yeah, well done from the team. Now you got to get into this. This sort of project you got to get your teeth into. and but they do very good tokenomics and around the supply. Very neat. So awesome stuff there from SCADA and Nuclear Supply. What else do we got? Peppy pump tires up 33%, number 4. Chris Dickens says 1983. Hey, well, I wasn't too bad with the 1984. Hey, look, it's a comeback for the Superman here. 1983, yeah, 1983. Very cool, man. It was so good in New Zealand in the 1980s. My goodness, and in the United States it was amazing too. What else do we got? Quadruple Zero 7100 is where we are on the old Peppy, and got a little bit of a comeback story here with the old Peppy as well. At 0004,000 there. So the Peppy pump tires on the move. Now we got next coming up is number 5 and number 6, and we got Peacock from Liberty Swap, of course. Well, not from Liberty Swap, but Liberty Swap has taken Peacock as their primary token, and it is up. It's on the up. So this is the US dollars. So we can see that's had a nice little rise. It's the 1 hour chart. So you can see on the 1 hour it's going up quite nicely. Just chilling out a little bit here on the 1 hour. What else there? 4 hour. It's just hit the overbought slightly. So we might get a little bit of consolidation here. The daily is got plenty of room to move, and that is the daily right now. And you can see that we're at 47 right now on the RSI, so plenty of room for a nice little run on this one. And of course, this is the main story that we're talking about today, which is the privacy boom ahead and the vision for greatness. And of course, this ties into Richard's vision and decentralized me from PDI as well. So we've got a lot of convergences happening there. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. That is doing pretty well. And could have a beautiful run there. Now, they've had a very sophisticated management strategy, and they have been doing a number of things. So they've obviously been building up the LP with the fees from the bridge and the swapping and all the product extensions, and we've had a great November rollout. The last of the rollout is going to be coming up, so we're going to talk about that, and that is with a Railgun and, of course, a Railgun wallet, and tied into Tornado Cash as well. So major thing for PulseChain and our connection into Ethereum as well. So we're going to talk about that. It's coming up. We've got PHEN here as well. That's up 30% there. And I think PZN, I should say, is coming off the bottom here at 10.0 5,000, now 10.0 67. We haven't talked about PZN for some time, actually, but it is up today. And nice little move there. I'm not sure whether there's any news out from Jack Levin, but maybe there is that's driving it. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that today. I did a live stream on X1 yesterday. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. They're pretty comprehensive as far as all the knowledge that I know. And so, yeah, it's pretty good. A big shout out there. Zero Trust, also tied into to Peacock, is at 30%. Remember, there's about 225 different LPs now built around Peacock, and a lot of teams are jumping on board in terms of supporting that. So all get dragged up with that one. So, yeah, nice little pump there in the last day there from Zero, up quite nicely as well. What else is going? So those are our top 8. Number 9 is Anon, PulseChain Anonymous. It's up 28% as well. So even though we've only got $6 million in volume, we have got some nice little percentage gainers today. So it's ticking up there. I don't know much about this one either, who's running this one, but that is where it is at the moment. It's ticking away there. Boy, there's quite a bit of verbiage there on the old description. We got PHEN as well. PHEN there is looks a little bit like PZN, but it's PHEN. This is tied into the Peacock, 27% as well. So Peacock related tokens are on the move, and that fits well because it's what we're going to be talking about is the privacy solution and the vision on PulseChain there. What else have we got there? I think that's at number 24. So we've got Stake Deeth, one of the PulseChain forks, up 25%. And we don't see a lot of the PulseChain forks at the top here, do we? We've got PZN, but that's not. I don't think. Yeah, no, that's not a PulseChain fork. That was a new token. Because there's the old OG PZN as well. I can't remember what that one's floating around, but it's out there too. So we got Stake Deeth. Stake Deeth, of course, is the first one here. That's actually a PRC20 fork. It's kind of funny. But he launched pump tires as probably a better replacement in some ways. We've got Zendog at the moment up 23%, also tied into the old Peacock. So you can sort of see Peacock lifting the wave there. Tied into Peacock is also P Tiger, and that's on the move as well. And P Tiger, of course, related to, is the token there supported and I guess founded by Tiger Crypto, and he's out there rising through the ranks on the old X. Trump token, pump tires up 20%. So, and then we've got 15 is Swarm, been around for 2 months, up 18% as well. So, top 15 there, we've only got one PRC20 copy in there, and that's probably going to remain the case, I think, for some time. What else we got going there? PC the Greys making a bit of a showing at number 1617. Still pretty low though, 0001100. Still not managing to break out at all. We'll keep a lookout for it though. Are there better options out there now? That's the question I ask myself, because I'm a big fan of PGC, but the question beckons, is Vouch and other projects superior? And that's, I guess, the question people have to ask relative to the holders and the locking and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see what Prairie Banana thinks about that. We've got DevC at number 20, up 12%, 1600th of a penny. Pump tires there, up 12% as well. So obviously, if we get Pulse on a run, we could reasonably expect this thing to absolutely go on a tear, right? Now it doesn't have necessarily the buying behind it, but it has the brand as the pump tires there. At the moment, it's had a bit of a pump today, so we'll see how that goes. But look at the chart; that's the daily chart. So it could be a mighty comeback if Pulse gets a bit of a run. All right, so that's the old pump there. We've got 5 Club, been around for 3 months there. That's up 11%. We've got PC the Greys again there. Go Pulse at the moment, 6.7 cents. It's on a bit of a move, up 10%. We've got X Game making a bit of a move too, up 10% there, 1500th of a penny. And then we've got some of the Richard Hart tokens here as well in the mix. Let's scroll down a little bit there. Time Dividend making a bit of a move around now, up 9%, and so is Sun Mini Meal. It's a bit of a shame that Sun Mini Meal is going to Solana. Not a bit of a shame, it's probably a major shame, but it is what it is. We got Time Dividend at the moment, up 9%, 1800th of a penny. What else is going on here? Pulse Puppy up 9%. World's Greatest PDI up at 9%. A lot of them doing pretty well. Sparta all the way down. I'm going to keep going down here. Got Oink there as well. RSI, Curve in there. UFO. All not too bad. All up sort of 9% there. And so everything in the top 40 essentially above where Hex is moving. Hex, of course, one of the best 2 performers today, right? Along with PulseX. So we're getting. I've got about 40 coins that are outperforming the Richard cores there, from the looks of it, at least compared to Hex. And of course, are all up against Pulse at the moment. So that's kind of cool where we are right now. Let's scroll down a bit further. Scroll down here. I think that's kind of the place. So we've got green candles, but on low volume. So we get a bit of decent volume. We might see some raw action here. Now we've got this one token, this terrible sacrifice pool from B Roots and Ian Heinisch. We've got through the trading. Now they're going to win on every side of the game. And everyone else not so much. So yeah, that's kind of where it is right now, and the volume there down 65k. So they're still turning over those accumulated fees into the ETH. So, but they still haven't been sacked. We'll see what happens there. All right, that is that, and there's another one. I think another pool as well, but it's only really small from somebody else. I don't know who launched it. So that is where the market is right now. The volume's even just dropped even lower. We're down to 5.5 million now. And transactions at 290. So there we go. But it is the order of the day is essentially, apart from maybe Whale Bay, which may be tied into Peacock by now, is Peacock. Everything associated with Peacock, with a few other exceptions like SCADA and Pepe, are on the move right now. So that brings us into our topic of the day, which is around privacy. We got Rolf in the house there. Great show. 32 minutes in. 10 watching, pretty good numbers there, says Rolf. I appreciate that, Rolf. Thank you very much. All right, so let's get into some of the marks there. Yeah, we're streaming on multiple channels. So we're on 3 YouTube channels and on X at the moment. So we're streaming there. All right, so let's get into it. Decentralized Me posted this out. This is a little while back now. This is only 2 weeks ago. He says, Liberty Swap laid out the PulseChain's product market fit today. Take the time to read the below. Now, we know that Liberty Swap is looking to finish off their November roadmap, and that is launching Railgun at the end of the month. So the 30th of November is the target date. We know that the November, they essentially had 3 main things in the roadmap. and we've seen $200,000 to $300,000 bridged over. They've been buying Pulse, etc. We also saw them add in the Hex pairs, the Ethereum pairs, the Pulse pairs, and the PDI pairs to expand their bridge offerings. So they've done all that. So, tick, 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 tick. And now the final thing is the railgun, which is a major thing for PulseChain. So we've got Liberty Swap laid out, the PulseChain product market fit. PulseChain is designed to evolve into the main liquidity hub and obfuscation layer for the broader Ethereum ecosystem. An attack on Ethereum is, at its core, an attack on Uniswap's market share. PulseX will have greater liquidity than Uniswap. Pretty awesome. This will attract volume as traders seek lower slippage. For the same assets. The AMM collected massive amounts of PRC20 copies as AMM at the beginning of PulseChain that were locked in smart contract protocols at the time of launch. Remember, that's, 936 days ago or something. Did that for about 3 days. PulseChain is intentionally built as a liquidity guest house, serving as both a routing and obfuscation layer for the broader Ethereum ecosystem. PulseChain will have privacy built onto it, onto the layer one level. You can see your own transactions, but not others. This will attract volume as traders seek privacy. They can route back into fresh wallets on ETH to off-ramp. Layer 2 enabled this level of privacy weeks ago when ZK rollups were installed and Exodus mode activated. Think of it as a privacy enhanced blockchain that still interacts seamlessly with all Ethereum dApps, and that's from Liberty Swap. The copies of Ethereum protocols will function over on PulseChain. We've spoken at length about the work conducted on Maker, Compound, and Aave. Take Pulse and PDI as examples. These are all in quotes, of course. When millions of dollars worth of assets were sold off, prices dropped sharply. But once they reached certain levels, dormant capital quickly stepped in, buying the dip and pushing prices back up almost instantly. We can now deploy capital from other blockchains to reinforce liquidity and drive the charts upwards. So this is all been a part of that big move that we're coming up to. People have sort of waited for this to sort of come together. This was tested when the PDI from a Better Bank exploit dumped the price of a PDI. When a massive dump happens over on PulseChain and a specific token, Liberty Swap is able to access liquidity from other chains and quickly arbitrage. We've already seen this exist on layer 2. It's the layer 0 Omni bridge we've spoken about, which is coming up. That's what I'm looking forward to there. Congratulations if you're still in PulseChain. You front run the biggest value add of the cycle. That's how you get rich. And of course, they're got PDI to $1 there. And I got a bit of stuff here from Richard. So Richard says, fun ideas, the block explorer, where only the sender and receiver. Let me see what's size. That's probably a little bit big. I might come out there. It's probably much easier to see, right? Fun ideas, a block explorer where only the sender and receiver get to see transactions. Why should anyone else pay so other people can spy on your transactions? A software license update that bans use of software by companies that profit from spying on you. You might have heard a spying company would take the fifth protection from testifying. If you want to bootstrap a bunch of users regaining their privacy, it's better to just stick it on something that's quite popular on its own rather than try and bootstrap it. So, for instance, if Dexes or something similar had adoption, just give people privacy by default, their privacy would reach out and enhance the privacy of everyone else. So there we are, a little bit of insights there from them. Now, I was just going to... so that was the update there. Now, I just wanted to scroll back here, and I think this is the right one. I think I might have lost my position here that I had. Here it is. Here. Using RH words, Liberty Swap laid out PulseChain's product market fit weeks ago. Many missed how big this was. The 3 pillars were clear. So this is from Decentralized Me. Of course, one of the 3 or 4 main leaders, probably the main leader outside of, in terms of the where the whole PDI thing's going, compared to some of the influencers like Somi and people out there, which are sort of the cheerleaders. The 3 pillars were clear: privacy at the level 1. PulseChain being the privacy layer for Ethereum. And that's the big profound part, right? That's having that happen because it's going to be the incentive for people to participate in that way. An omni bridge that pulls liquidity across chains. This is the shock absorber. When volatility hits PDI or any PRC20, liquidity is pulled in from other chains to rebalance. Number 3, a DEX where the same asset trades with greater liquidity. A Y trade on Uniswap when PulseX has lower transaction fees, lower slippage, and privacy built in. We're already seeing the layer 2 demonstrate built-in privacy. ZK has been enabled, and the Omni bridge. This isn't about the next project. This is about delivering PulseChain's actual design, privacy, liquidity, and parity. And it's got PDI to $1, of course, PulseChain season, which is what Richard's focused on, right? So that was kind of cool. That was a follow-up on that post from the 7th there. That was just today. Kind of cool. Now, LibertySwap, of course, has made several comments about that today in response to that post that Decentralized put in. LibertySwap itself says PulseChain as a layer 1 that serves as a privacy layer for Ethereum itself can be very attractive for capital flowing from Ethereum to PulseChain. Privacy on Railgun and Tornado Cash comes with drawbacks. With Tornado Cash, the capital sits idle and cannot do much, which turns it into dead liquidity. Now, we've already seen that Tornado Cash on Ethereum, I think, since 2021, has routed something like $4 billion through it. And of course, about $1.5 billion or $1.6 billion of that was this year. And we know who half of that was, right? It was Richard Hart, right? Almost half of it. Maybe, let's say 40% was the old OA Richard Hart wallets at 650 million or so. Depending when the ETH price, what the ETH price was. Obviously, ETH price is down. So privacy on Railgun and Tornado comes with drawbacks. With Tornado Cash, the capital sits idle and cannot do much, which turns it into dead liquidity. With Railgun, even a small issue in the heavy computation of shielding and unshielding or interacting with private DeFi can lead to large losses. PulseChain to Railgun instant routes solve this problem. Users can keep full Railgun privacy while still taking part in DeFi activities with no censorship risk and with the security of a layer 1. So let's read that last bit again. PulseChain to Railgun instant routes solve this problem. So users can keep full Railgun privacy while still taking part in DeFi activities with no censorship risk and with the security of a layer 1. So pretty awesome stuff there. And then, of course, they say people often wonder what makes PulseChain better fit than Ethereum when it comes to combining privacy apps on PulseChain, privacy apps on Ethereum. The key differences are the removal of middlemen and stronger censorship resistance. Ethereum faces serious censorship pressure. Stablecoin issuers, government agencies, and large financial institutions hold influence over the network, and we know that, right? So they're fake DeFi, right? So they stay regulated and all the rest of it. They do things they don't need to do. And that is very true. And interaction with privacy apps is heavily monitored. Your funds depend on the mercy of stablecoin issuers and a concentrated set of validator operators. PulseChain takes a different approach, and I think this is where it really gets really interesting and really sets PulseChain apart, moving with this vision that's Richard Hart's had, and that LibertySwap seems to be playing a key role in making happen. The main PulseChain bridge removes the middleman from its own design through EUSD and EUSD Tether, while still providing strong liquidity for trading, launching projects, and building real DeFi. So let's read that one more time because it's very probably key takeaway there. PulseChain takes a different approach. The main PulseChain bridge removes the middleman from its own design through EUSD and EUSD Tether, while still providing strong liquidity for trading, launching projects, and building real DeFi. This keeps activity free from centralized control while supporting healthy liquidity, much cheaper fees, and no censorship. For these reasons, it makes far more sense for capital to move between PulseChain and the privacy apps than between Ethereum and privacy apps. So a real big incentive there. Just my 2 cents is LibertySwap. And of course, Decentralized responds there. Good time to get this in my head. What we're really saying is this: if your privacy depends on a heavily monitored layer 1, you don't have privacy. And a lot of these big players want privacy and they're moving around big money. So this could be a real winner. Setting Ethereum apart, and yet still being the whole. PulseChain is an Ethereum, fork. So full system state fork. So it really adds a lot extra there too. Ethereum today is effectively semi-regulated. Every major analytics company tracks, flags, and correlates anything that touches a privacy app. So true. And the moment you want to use DeFi again, you have to unshield, step back into the public chain, and surveillance continues. On top of that, stablecoin issuers can freeze anything that ever interacted with a privacy app. So you risk frozen funds, failed withdrawals, and a permanent black mark, all while never achieving real privacy to begin with. PulseChain flips the model. Privacy is built into the layer one. You can see your own activity and reveal it when needed, e.g. an AML checks at your bank account. And of course, AML means anti-money laundering, but it isn't publicly exposed, scraped, or analyzed. You're free to move, trade, and use DeFi without risking your capital inside fragile privacy apps, and it's just a bridge away. Perfect, says LibertySwap there. So, that was a nice little, couple of posts there, which I think it really illuminates what's about to unfold on PulseChain. And we're looking at that, and it looks like a week away for that to be enabled with LibertySwap. So very, very exciting with that. All right, so and it was a great little dialogue. I think that was the end of that one, but pretty exciting stuff, guys, from that. And I think you can sort of see, what's going to set, what's going to set us apart there. Neil says, isn't Vitalik working on privacy for ETH too? He is, but it looks like it's going to be front run quite a bit here, is the play. And all those monitoring things are still a big problem for over in Ethereum. So, and look, Vitalik's he's going to bend the knee. He's going to bend the knee, Neil. He'll bend the knee. You know it, Neil. He'll bend the knee, and he'll sell more Ethereum. Anyway, we've got 7 hours ago. Good morning. Peacock is grinding upwards to join the flock. And so we've seen obviously Peacock there lifting the boats, and all those that have paired up with it and associated with it, the ones the majority of what are rising at the moment. And of course, LibertySwap saying weekend Peacock run, may the season be with us. So it's game on there. I've already read a lot of those comments as well. Now, in terms of a broader market view, LibertySwap says the ETH to BC yearly candle chart is underrated. 2026 will be the year of altcoins, and I agree with that 100%. We've been talking about that a lot on this channel from many different angles. What else there? Let's scroll up here a little bit more. 3 hours ago, the projects that PulseChain traders can support and benefit are the ones that have enough capital and activity. And we know that a big thing there is that LibertySwap's been bringing a lot of capital in. They've been getting a lot of capital through the bridge and swapping fees. They've been building treasuries. They've been fattening up their LibertySwap LP constantly, particularly during this down period. They've been buying, a Peacock with Pulse with the treasuries. They've been pairing up with other communities with their treasury. Lots of activities, and they've been running extremely good financial management with the capital, earning high yields too. They're running validators, LP pools, the whole lot. So it's a full financial management system, and they are propping up the old LibertySwap, and of course these other teams jumping on board, also helping for support that at the same time. So it's exciting times here. So having enough capital and activity to build a long-term plan for themselves and their communities. And what we see with a lot of PulseChain projects, particularly a lot of pump tires, they just don't have any of this, right? They've got zero zilch of this, and they're only as good as their promotion, right? And a lot of them don't want to promote, right? They don't want to promote. So, you go into a lot of Telegram groups, and I've been in, I don't know, probably hundreds is my guess. And it's just most of them don't they have bad attitudes. They don't out there, so many issues, and it's just what it is. I remember, was it a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, I ended up exiting some of the groups. I ended up leaving even the Richard Core groups, PulseChain and PulseX, because they're just dead. And it's like 40, 50,000 people in there, but they kill the conversation, and they kill conversations dead because they won't let people post things and this and that. These are people that are widely accepted. It's not like they're scammers or anything, and it's just dead. So what can you do with that? So it's worth rather than stay in stagnant groups, it's better to get out there on X and other places and just communicate and interact and all the rest of it, right? Which is, we are getting a lot of that too. So we are getting, a lot of X spaces set up, people doing that. We talked about that. We've got Crypto Girl out there. We've got Tam. We've got, XQKR, many others out there doing all that stuff. And that's cool. Yet are not greedy enough to keep all the gains and capital for themselves. That's the other thing that we've seen, right? So we've seen a lot of teams, it's all for me. There's not even a 50-50 or a sharing, and that's important, right? So far, so good on that. The past 2 years have shown us clearly which projects are strong and reliable. Have they indeed? Especially for those that have been everywhere. As you guys know, we're everywhere here on the Kryptonite Show. We're looking everywhere, and which are not, and which are not. So choose wisely, indeed. Obviously got the Hex, the Richard Art cores, the Peacock, and the P die in there as well. So it's an interesting support there for the P die coming out from the Liberty swap, and we'll keep tracking how that unfolds as well. What else there? 3 hours ago there, we had some more comments about the railgun. So we must read through this as well. Main risks of railgun and why PulseChain manages to solve them in ways that Ethereum cannot. Number one, computational load. Shield and unshield actions use heavy computation. Someone clicks it, so we did read this out in another point here, but this is that's obviously an excerpt of this list. Private DeFi interaction risk. Interacting with smart contracts while inside railgun adds another layer of complexity. A small bug in the private routing or an unexpected contract behavior can cause risk losses. Front end and routing dependency. Users rely on specific front ends to create proofs and handle routes. If those front ends fail or misroute a transaction, privacy can break or funds can be at risk. Number 4, censorship risk on Ethereum. Railgun lives on Ethereum. Ethereum has stablecoin issues, regulators, major institutions, etc., which watch the transactions. We talked about that as well. Number 5, liquidity inertia. Railgun capital cannot move fast between networks because of shielding, and unshielding takes time and very expensive. This makes the system slower during fast-moving conditions, and we know that is a big deal. We've found that out on PulseChain with the official bridge many times, and obviously Liberty Swap is a partial solution to that. So is some of these other means like Coast and 9mm and things like that, depending on what you're trying to do. LN, Pulse LN too. They didn't have any problems, did they, with the old bridge during that time? Last, congestion on the shutdown on the bridge. Why do Railgun to PulseChain routes solve problems that Ethereum cannot? PulseChain routes I guess you might say routes, and you say routes in America. PulseChain routes or routes allow assets to move quickly with fewer middlemen and far less censorship pressure. This removes the major bottlenecks while keeping the privacy benefits of Railgun. Also keeps Railgun activity simple, which reduces complexity and makes the system safer. Users can enjoy censorship-free DeFi on PulseChain. If you build reliable DeFi protocols with enough liquidity, people will naturally come, use them, pay fees, and keep the PulseChain ecosystem active. As activity grows, native assets gain value, indeed. So it's kind of cool from there. Where else are we going here? So let me just scroll back up here. So that's kind of the play at the moment, what we're into. And this kind of sums it up. This is the last post that's been pinned to the top of Liberty Swap. PulseChain is moving towards privacy tech, and ZK is centered on privacy, whether people accept it or not. The core idea of ZK is to proving something is true without revealing the underlying information. In simple terms, you can show a statement is valid while keeping every detail hidden. That makes ZK perfect for private balances, private transactions, and private identity proofs. It gives verification without exposure, which is why privacy is the natural outcome of this technology. We're adapting this we are adapting to this. Railgun is coming. Tornado Cash is coming. So awesome stuff there. All right. So this is probably related to what Work for Crypto says here. Volume is key, 100%. That's what hopefully this will help bring in this whole setup. It will be extremely hard for anyone to watch wallets as the LBS liquidity pool grows deeper every day, and that's a bit related to your volume there as well. Traders can shift liquidity and push native asset prices higher without increasing the bridge total value lock. So there we go. That plays well into your comment as well. Kind of cool. Here's a little example. Also, imagine if we reached a few thousand ETH in the Liberty Swap liquidity pool, we could lower the inbound and outbound fee to 0.1% and still stay profitable. At that stage, cross-chain trading and cross-chain swaps would become very cheap and efficient. Arbitrage bots would have even more motivation to trade and capture price differences, which would strengthen parity between assets on different chains. So a couple of comments there. So that is some of the action there. And as you guys know, we are expecting the 30th of this month for that to take place. We're going to have Railgun Tornado Cash and a Railgun wallet, and potentially things happening around the layer 0 as well. So cool stuff. That is pretty much our coverage of PulseChain. Except we've got one more thing to cover. We've got the PruvX sacrifice, guys. It's on. Let's do a refresh here. We're ticking it down, and we've still got an hour to go until we start counting down day 9. So we've still got an hour left on day 10. Obviously, we've still got 2 hours and 45 minutes since Richard Art posted this originally, but the clock, of course, is on a different timer. And we can see we're on day 12 here, slowly creeping along towards day 21. I call it D-Day, D-Day, day 21, because we'll find out, will we get an extra sell-off there on that day, or will it be rather muted, and no big surprise there. Now, we looked at CryptoSolve's breakdown of the top sacrifice team, the old Buckamentals one. Was it called PruvX Pool? And it was definitely selling. People had sold a couple of thousand, and that's definitely been increased a lot with the PruvX Pool sacrifice. But actually, there was a lot of capital from the face of it that was coming from fresh capital and from Ethereum. But yeah, we have seen a big lift in the old PulseChain side. But what will happen as we lead into that final day of the base rate being at $1 at 10,000 points? And of course the volume bonus there as well. So that's going to be where we are. We're ticking it down. So we're at 4.2 million at the moment with about an hour to go on day 12, and we're at 84 billion points. We had 5,673,000 transactions at the moment. Now compare that to PulseX, which I think was 104,000 or something. It was much higher. Still a fraction of that, and I think PulseChain was about 48,000, somewhere in that ballpark, somewhere in there. Looking at the total top sacrificer, well, congratulations to PruvX Pool and the Buckamentals. They did an X-Space again yesterday, so they've been doing the sales show, and they can talk for sure. They did a nice breakdown. Jokes aside, they did a nice breakdown yesterday. So they've hit $2 million as the public pool, and so it looks like the power to the people. The people, was it the People's Whale? They're the People's Whale. And the current amount of points they got is almost 51 billion, and they have a multiplier of 2.52. Obviously, the more that goes in there by everybody, the more that drags down. That started off, it was like 2.85 or something, wasn't it? Something like that. And now it's 2.52. And so it makes the most sense to go in there. Now, they've been a pretty trusted citizen in the old PulseChain from what I've ever seen over the years. They also launched 4 projects, and one of them was the Fiat, the fork of Aave, Phux, the fork of Balancer, Famous, the fork of GMX, and then Fatty, the old wallet dashboard there, and Whale Tracker. So those are the 4 things that have launched, and they've been taken away. Now, that they move up with supply and demand, and of course demand has been relatively low, so I guess that's the play. But they did a pretty good job there, and so people are trusting in all of that, the character and the DeFi history, and so apparently they trust them a lot, because $2 million there now, and 383 sacrifice accounts based on this, or at least wallets. So pretty cool. The next one is $70,000, and then the third one is 64,000. I'm not sure whether one of these is Rackham Michelle or not, but that is the play. And I don't know whether Rackham's going to move into this if he hasn't already late, and just wait to see what happens, and then jump in on day 21. May very well see that. Could be dramatic. And he'll just keep watching that, no doubt. Now, that being said, of course, he is also launching Coinwell, and that requires a significant amount of capital, both for setting up the pools, and we know he's going to do at least a minimum of $1 million, but I think potentially up to 10 million, I think was the top end. We'll see what happens there. And also, that's it's going to be very interesting about the money he does put in Coinwell, because that will reflect about how much he thinks he can pull into Coinwell. Through his connections, whatever that might mean, whether it's Saudis, American high worth people, any ties into the Trump family, the White House, digital strategy, the Nasdaq, etc., that sort of thing. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be pretty interesting. Now, I think I already speculated on that many months ago, so it'll be interesting how that goes. All right, so that's kind of played at the moment. We got 2 wallets with 50K in it. We got one with 40K, and we got 2 with 30K, and then we got 2 more there over 20K. So to get in the top 10 at the moment, if you're going to go solo, 21,000 is the mark there. And like I say, we don't think we've seen the dollar one ETH go in here yet. So that's sort of sitting out on the sidelines. Question mark. All right, so it looks like we've got dominantly ETH, but we do have number 8 is Solana, the Solana wallet here. So there we go, interesting. All right, so that is the leaderboard right now. Let's go to the recents. We've got $3.2 million almost is from Ethereum. So 3.2 out of 4.2, so $1 million is not. And out of that $1 million, 800,000 is in PulseChain. Yeah, boy. Now, remember, this is all bridged in stuff to PulseChain. These are not native PulseChain assets, not PRC20s per se. These are bridged in. PRC20 forks, I should say. These are bridged in and have their own PRC contract. We got BSC at the moment 63K. That's come up a little bit, isn't it? It's come up a little bit. We got Base at 47, Solana at 40, Arbitrum at 30, and Bitcoin at 15. Those are the kind of leader ones there. We've got lots of other with the little tiny bits. We've got nothing from Monad, Mega ETH, or Hyperliquid, and that's unchanged from the last couple of days or since the beginning. So that's kind of where we are with the leaderboard here on the old ProveX. I think we're going to have, I don't know, the big moves is that we're going to have a big, I think we'll have a bit of an event here on the old second. And will that represent, depending on where the market is, will that represent the bottom of PulseChain if it is a significant day, sell-off day for people who decide to get in late? So it's all the late people, right? Oh my God, I got to get in FOMO. I got to get FOMO. I've been watching on the sidelines. I got to get FOMO. So they go in and do it. And then, of course, we got the next couple of days after that, what we've seen in other sacrifices, that we got the come lately people, right? They go, oh, it's rising a little bit, but I might as well get in while it's decent still before it really runs away. And so they come in and the sacrifice a bit here for the come lately. So we'll see. Certainly, I don't think it's going to be anything like we saw PulseX, but it is what it is. And that's going to run all the way through to the day 54, and that by that time it will be $7.40 for 10,000 points. So you might as well play $1 here, right? That's the logic, and therefore you get the FOMO. And that could be, could be signal the bottom for the old PulseChain there once and for all. Assuming you think that, Liberty Swap set up around privacy, Tornado Cash, the volume play, the bot cycles, everything else that goes with that, layer 0, blah, blah, blah goes. And then Richard Hart's on the move as well. Does Richard Hart pull some of the OA stuff through that railgun Tornado setup at some stage, Now, the rational player says to me that Richard Hart will want ETH to run, and we know ETH is going to run in terms of price. So that is, that could hold off a lot of moves. We know that Richard obviously bought very high, so he made a mistake on the old buy. We were in the strategy club, which if you haven't joined that, join up today. The link's in the video description. We were in strategy club when ETH was under 1,800. We go, oh man, Richard should move the stuff into ETH then, and he never did. And then we get up to 37.73, and that's when he moves the price in around that price. So we were like, well, the market's already run quite a bit. Why are you moving the die in there? And so and then we went up to 49, and it was still there, and it came back down, right? Now, obviously, everyone's pretty excited about altcoin season and 5K Ethereum. I think everyone considers that the trigger mark if we actually break the 5K. And then it's game on. Then you're talking 7, 8K minimum, maybe up to 12, 13, 15, 16K at the top ends for at least the next big run. But it's going to be pretty strong. We're expecting it to be quite radical as well. And this liquidation event sets us up very well for that and the recovery of any market makers that required. So it's kind of the backdrop there. So we'll see what Richard does. Richard, obviously, the other thing is, 171,000 ETH. They got pushed through the Tornado Cash. Oh, well, a bit lower than that, 161, was it 165 something? And then 166, somewhere in that book. Anyway, and then of course we've got the AA ETH, right? Which was, Richard talked about being potentially 1 million ETH going through there. I'm not sure how accurate that figure is relative to the recycling, but it was certainly a ton of ETH, and so that's it was 120 million ETH or 121 million ETH. Is he sitting on, almost 1.2 million ETH? He's very good at doing things like that. I believe he is very much. I think he does do what he says around diamond hands. Remember, he was also mining Bitcoin back in March 2011, approximately, one of the early OGs there. And he was also mining ETH in 2016, right? So, how much crypto's Richard actually sitting on? It could be quite mind-boggling, right? Quite mind-boggling. And so, if you can imagine that we do get a network re-rate, as Tom Lee says, over the next 10-year period, and we get quite a bit of that up close before 2030, and in particular 2017, which I think is going to be really hard under Trump's era. Then you're talking about insane billions, tens of billions of dollars. And in terms of Richard, he could be sending up on $100 billion or so. I mean, it could be pretty insane. At least $50 billion. It could be pretty insane. But if Ethereum gets to $60,000, oh my god, that's some pretty crazy money. So there's lots of options there, and even if he shaved off a fraction of that in the PulseChain, they'd be pretty amazing. Now, if the other alternative is that he does fractional reserve setup, and if he can do something that's not been done before, maybe LibbySwap and the Railgun and all that helps him to do that onto PulseChain, because now it's all done privacy, no one's seeing what he's doing. Then man, imagine that. I guess there's a lot of pressure on Richard in some ways because everyone expects him to do stuff that people haven't done before. We know he's done a lot of forks up to this point, but can he actually do things like fractional reserves that actually make magic money and can hold up in value? Now, we did see Bretep kind of teasing a little bit about PulseChain, so Bretep being the PulseChain dev, lead dev there, and he's talking about, PulseChain season. I'm excited for PulseChain season, he says. And that was just recently this month. And then he goes, but PulseChain season, just one season, almost like, is this going to be something sustainable? Well, if you're going to do that, you've got to have quite the setup for that. If you're going to have a chain that's going to have sustainable up value, especially after we've had 930 days of pretty down chart, right? And we get a rinse and repeat all the time. Dip catcher is out there all the time, reminding us about the sacrifice set and the sell-off, continual sell-off to lower highs and lower lows. So yeah, will we see the turnaround here coming up on the 30th? Was this be the beginning, along with the sacrifice day on the 2nd of October? Will somewhere between the 30th and the 2nd of October be the very bottom, the end of it for PulseChain, and then it's game on from there as capital starts to flow from the market and something special happens from Richard Hart. Now, we also know that the sacrifice set itself ends on the 10th of January, and so will that illuminate something as well for where we start getting God mode candles or something like that. So we've got lots of potentialities out there, and it could be pretty fun, guys, to see what he does. Now, I'm hoping that the ETH price at least starts breaking out past 5 to 7K before Richard does something, if he's going to do buy type things. But if he does fractional reserves, then he could do that as soon as he wants. So that could be pretty cool. So we'll see how that plays out. And LibbySwap looks like it's being the key enabler there, with the old Railgun Tornado Cash, the wallet, and the layer zero, presumably not far behind. And so yeah, it could be game on there. I don't know which one's going to get to $1 first. Is it going to be PDI? Or is it going to be Peacock? Is it going to be a Hex? Hex, I don't know. You guys decide, but it's looking pretty exciting there. All right, so that's some of my food for thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. As you guys know, you know what's coming out today. Monster Thread, guys. The hottest weekly news is coming out. Monster Thread number 29. Number 29. 29 Weeks of Glory. Number 29 is coming out later on today. Stay tuned for that. I know that MVS Crypto is working hard on that, and it's coming later on today. So all the hottest things, and man, it is packed full of very cool things that I haven't covered today. It is coming out in the Monster Thread later today, so stay tuned for that as we get ready for I guess the next get the next 9 days, and then after that is almost game on. So bring it on. That's all we can say. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We've got Frank White's in the house. There's Bang Bang, Pulse King. Indeed. We're feeling good about that. We got Hexcavator in the house as well. Hey, gang. Bring it on, bring it on. All right, take care, everybody. I will see you guys again tomorrow. We might actually have special guests on tomorrow or the next day. We might have from our team. Looking forward to that. So I just need to finalize that. That could be coming up in the next day or two. So awesome stuff. All right, bye for now. Bring it on. Game on. It's time for a PulseChain to almost shine. We're almost there. And liking what I'm saying so far. All right, take care. Bye for now.